Hello, I'm H. Victoria Hargrove Atkerson. I'm a writer and an author. I have 4 books in publication, and I have 2 on the way. The next 2 will be on slavery, which is was a very difficult subject to research, very emotional for me, but the results are wonderful. I think you're going to enjoy it. Today, we're going to finish talking about Akinyele and Jessica. Stones Along the Path is a romantic memoir of Jessica Hamilton. She wrote this memoir to chronicle her life with Akinyele. Their son, who loves his mother so much and maybe knew his mother better than anyone, he writes his side of the same story. It's a wonderful, wonderful experience to do this in 2 voices. So I know you're going to love it. Most people who read this story really enjoy it. So I want you to follow along with the story. Now they've already met at a party. They danced. They had a good time. But she decides that he's too intense for her, and she's getting ready to go home to the United States after serving in the Peace Corps for 2.5 years. She has a few months to go, and she wants out. So she doesn't want anything a heavy involvement with anyone really, and he is just too intense for her. So she is successful in avoiding him, and but he's persistent in trying to find her because he really feels that she is the only one in the world for him. So this is we meet Jessica again in the hotel. Okay, all right. Okay, let's see. For the next few days, the telephone in my room rang, making me increasingly anxious. Refusing to answer it, I felt certain that it was the tall, handsome African, that he would be on the other end of the line. On Saturday morning, around 11 o'clock, Thomas and I were going to an open market to buy a few souvenirs to take back to the States. As our time to leave Africa approached, we scheduled shopping trips to buy gifts for our family members. I knocked on Thomas's door and rode down on the elevator with him, chatting away until the elevator doors opened in the lobby. I caught a glimpse of Akinyele standing by the window looking out. I quickly grabbed Thomas and pushed him away from the door. "What's wrong?" "Shh," I said with my hands on Thomas's midsection to keep him pinned against the wall of the elevator. When the doors closed, I said, "It was that guy I met at the party." "Jessica, why in hell are you hiding from him? You saw him. I'm going home. I don't have time to get involved with him. You have 3 months left. Are you crazy? It's in that time you could be basking happily in erotic bliss with that handsome creature." "Then what? I still have to go home and start school in the fall. I don't need to get mixed up with someone that intense." "Honey, you must know that most relationships only last 3 months anyway. I would spend my last 3 months in African stallion heaven if I were you. There is no way I could ignore that fine piece of ass. It's not worth it. And I wish he would stop calling and showing up here. He's getting on my nerves," I said, releasing the anger that I felt. "I wish I could get on his nerves, and so does everybody else around here. Everyone except your crazy, simple ass. Someone is going to snatch his handsome ass up if you don't, and that includes me, sweetheart. I saw Liz dribbling at the lips last night. The poor thing is dying to date him. Tell her to ask him out." Honey, she already did, and he turned her horny ass down, then proceeded to ask her a million questions about you. "Tell her to try again." "She doesn't need me to tell her that, because she did, and so did Martha and Rebecca. All that man wants is to find you. Everybody in the hotel knows about it." So, okay, so the next time we meet the couple, he actually does track her down. About 2 weeks After returning from Nairobi, a horn blew early in the morning, awakening me from a sound sleep. There was only 3 cars in the village, including the international harvester that I shared with other volunteers in the area. One car belonged to the tribal leader. The other one was set abandoned, with rust and vines growing all over it. Usually, a horn blowing meant that I had a guest. So I struggled from my bed to the front of the house and opened the wooden shutters. Peeking outside, I saw an unfamiliar BMW parked in front of my house. Half asleep, I opened the shutters wider. Then I blocked the already hot sun from my eyes as I peered into the window of the vehicle to see who my impromptu visitor was. At first, I could not recognize who was in the car because the sun was casting a bright glare on the windshield. When the person inside finally climbed out of the small sports car, I was shocked and surprised to see Akinyele smiling back at me. My whole body shuddered and my breathing became shallow as I watched him approach. Exuding sheer masculine power, he stood tall, riddled with muscles, and beautiful in the way only African men can look. He wore a sparkling white short-sleeved t-shirt, which made his beautiful dark brown skin seem browner and seductive. Smiling broadly, he waved as his long muscular legs stretched easily toward my small cottage. Silently, I panicked, realizing that I was terrified of being alone with him, and I was still in my big, oversized t-shirt that served as my pajamas. Panicking, I turned around in circles, running to find a pair of jeans and a shirt and on to put on by the time he reached the door. I was not completely presentable. As he knocked on the door, I struggled to put my clothes on and take the big bulky plaits out of my hair. He continued to knock, but had to wait until I nervously and frantically buttoned my blouse. My feet remained bare because no matter where I looked, I could not find my shoes. "What are you doing here?" I asked, peeping out the partially open door. "Hello, Jessica. I'm happy to see you too," he said, marking my rudeness. "I'm sorry, but I wasn't expecting you," I said, out of breath from the quick dressing I had to do in order to open the door. Standing on my only step, he gazed at me with his intense eyes through the cracked door, sending warm surges through my body. "Jessica, are you going to let me inside?" Stalker. This guy is a very, very aggressive person. He's like, he wants what he wants. He loves this woman. And I want you to pick this up so you can find out how this sizzling romance develops between them. It's amazingly wonderful. And they have some really perfect moments together. Like I said, I do adult fiction, and it's filled with warm, excellent lovemaking too, which is really wonderful to have done. And I think I did an excellent job doing it in a very classy way. I think you're going to appreciate it. But be sure to get the book. Amazon.com, Barnes & Nobles, Kindle, or you can get it from my website, which is www.hvictoriahargroatkerson.com. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, and Facebook. So drop me a line, talk to me. If there's anything you want to discuss about writing, my life, or my books, please feel free to ask. There's very little I don't share with people, so I'm wide open. I love writing and I love encouraging people to write. So be sure to drop me a line and stay in touch. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel about this book. Next time we meet, we'll move on to part 2. But I think before that, we'll talk about writing again, because I think that is something that people would really enjoy. So you take care and have much, much uh, fun and love in your life. Take care till the next time. God bless.